you know, a couple times a week, beginning of the week, end of the week. And make sure if you have some things to give me that you get them in. I would assume a few of you probably have those questions from the movie and you just never submitted them. So make sure you do. All right. Otherwise, let's talk about Por and Para. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share my notes. So if you want to get out your own, you can, of course. But I was just going to throw mine up here so we could talk real quick about them. So let me move them over here. All right. So everybody can see them. Zoom friends, can you see them? CC? Okay. All right. So let's talk about poor. Okay. The idea here is that we have two words that are pretty common that are very easy to confuse with each other. So the more comfortable we are with understanding the reasons to use one versus the other, the more often you're going to get these right. Is it the biggest deal if you use poor instead of para or para instead of poor? Not really, to be honest. It just, you know, it's one of those little grammar things that we just want to clean up. So not the end of the world. I think people are still going to understand you if you don't quite get it right. But obviously, I want you to try to understand the difference so that you can get it right more often than not. That's what kind of we're going for here. Okay. So when we think of poor, there are 7 things that I want you to think of. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my little phrase from yesterday, but you came up with your own phrase that you need to work on memorizing. All right. So once you've got your phrase, then you got your reasons. Once you got your reasons, then you're going to get this right. So poor, poor. Everybody make sure you're thinking about the word poor. And I'm going to read you my little phrase that I use so that you can kind of go through and see what we used it for. And then after I go through it, I'm going to have you quiz yourself and see how many reasons you can remember. So your goal right now is to try to remember these as we're going through it. All right. I guess if you get at least half today, you're in decent shape. So my expression was great cats can't talk to monkeys ever. Great cats can't talk to monkeys ever. So you're going, okay, great is for what, clase? Gracias. Just say it. If you're on Zoom, you can unmute to say it. So great is for gracias. Cats is for cause. Can't. You're looking at it. It's for what? Communication. Great cats can't talk is for transportation. Can't talk to is for time. Great cats can't talk to monkeys. Movement through, and I'll clarify that in a minute. And ever is for in exchange. All right. So the only one I feel like maybe it's confusing, but I'm happy to explain any of them that you want me to. This movement through, all right, it's like you're passing by, right? So you're going to a place via another place. All right. So like I'm stopping by your house on the way to the party. Okay, so that's what I mean by movement through. It's not your final destination. That's going to be for para. It's like where you're going by a place. Because remember, this can kind of mean for or can kind of mean by. So think of it as stopping by your friend's house on the way somewhere else. Otherwise, something's caused by something. You're communicating by email or by text. Transportation, you're getting there by train or by car. Time, you're going for a certain amount of time for 5 years, por 5 años. And in exchange, I'm going to give you $5 for that candy bar. All right, so those are the general things that we're thinking about. Anybody need me to clarify any of those reasons? Okay, I'm looking at you if you're on Zoom, so feel free to ask. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to leave this up, but I want you to kind of quiz yourself here. All right, so I want you to kind of use your hand to cover them up. And I'm going to read you my sentence again, and you see if you know what some of these are at least. Okay, maybe you know all of them. Should at least know some if you're paying attention. All right, so I'll read my sentence. Cover it up with your hand so you're not staring at the answers. All right, and what I mean by that, look, like I just mean, like if you're looking at it, you're just kind of do one of these. So you're like covering up the answer and then you can check yourself, right? Do one of those. All right, let me go back and screen share it. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, so here's my sentence. Again, you can use your own, but for the sake of things, you use mine for a minute. So great, think about it in your head. Do you know what great stands for? Cats, in your head, what does cat stand for? Can't. Think about can't. Talk. Think about talk to. Monkeys. Ever. Great cats can't talk to monkeys ever. So I don't know where you're at. My hope is you got some of these. Raise your hand or give me a little emoji thing, symbol on your thing if you got half. Maybe you got half of them. Good. Got 5. Got some. All right. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Obviously, you got about a week to get all of them. All right. So now let's go down and look at para. We're going to do the same thing. All right. So my little phrase was I go drop Reese's off daily. Okay. I is for in order to, right? Go is for your goal. Okay. I go drop is for destination. This is the one where like I'm stopping by your house, but I'm going to the party. Para la fiesta. All right. What did I say? Go drop. Reese's is for recipient. Like, oh, it's for me. I go drop Reese's off is your opinion, right? So like for me, I think you are wrong, right? In my opinion. All right, and finally, daily is for your deadline, right? So I'm dropping it off by Monday. The paper's due by Friday, that kind of thing. All right, so again, I'll say it one more time. Do the little thing, cover it up, see if you can get these. I, say it in your head. Go. Drop. Reese's. Off. What was it? Oh, daily. Daily. All right, so again, you kind of see where you're at. No right or wrong answer, but hopefully you're getting those. Those are coming along. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing the notes. I'm going to tell you the 2 things that we're going to work on, which are probably going to take us most of the rest of the period, but we'll see how we do here. How long do we have today? 2 o'clock. Yeah, that's probably all we're going to have time for. So we are going to do 1 practice activity on Por and Para, and then I'm going to have you get a Loteria board set up for next week. Okay, so let me explain both things and then I'll unlock that quiz. It's not really a quiz, but you know, we're calling it a quiz because that's where it is. And then you can get your bingo board set up. And even if you don't even finish that today, you can do that on Monday when I don't see you. But let me explain the bingo board. Okay, so everybody give me your attention real quick because unfortunately, since I didn't have you earlier this week, I didn't get to give my red people this. So if you're a red person or you're just never come in, you're gonna have to make your own bingo board. I know it's asking a lot, but I know you can handle it because we want to play bingo. So you can do it online or you can get a piece of paper and you're gonna make a little bingo board that looks like this. Okay, just do a big square and it's 5 by 5. Okay, make sure you do 5 by 5. And what does this say in the middle? Can you see? What's libre mean? Free space. So in the middle, put libre. And then you've made yourself a 5 by 5 little box. Now, let me tell you what goes in these. And then I'll let you, like I said, just start working. So you're going to use your current vocab. Okay. I happen to print one off just so I'd have it here, but it's chapter 4. Make sure you use the right vocab. The first word is amable. Okay. Don't use the wrong list or you're never going to win bingo. Okay. So your job is after you finish your Por and Para practice to fill in a different word in Spanish in each box from your vocab list. I'm going to say that again. Everybody listen. Okay, you're going to put a different word in Spanish from your vocab list in each box. Okay, and I would use some from the beginning, some from the middle, some from the end, because when I call them, that's what I'll do. And obviously you're not gonna be able to use all of them. So there's 24 spots here, right? Because there are 25 and 1's free space in the middle. So you're only gonna pick 24. So that's about half of these. I don't know, there's probably 40, 45 words on here. So you're gonna use about half. All right, does that make sense? Anyone have a question on how to fill out this board? Okay, So I am going to unlock this pour and para practice. I want you to do that first. That needs to get done today. Okay. And then work on your Loteria board. Ideally, that gets done today. But if it doesn't, I'll add that to your thing on Monday so you can finish making your board so we can play potentially on Tuesday. That make sense? Okay. So let me open this back up and then I'll just give you the last 15 minutes to go work on these things. Práctica de por y para. So I've given you 2 chances on this, FYI. So if you don't do well the first time, you can do it twice. And there's no password on it, and I think it should be open. So somebody go there and check it for me. And Riley says it's open. So like I said, you have about, I don't know, now you have about 13 minutes of class left. So work on this pour and para. You can use your notes. It's not really a quiz, but I probably will give you some points for it. So make sure you do your best on that. And then if you get your bingo board done, fine. And if not, you know what to do on Monday. Make sense? Okay.